And I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you. So welcome everyone. And today's topic is looking at a hand that was played a few weeks ago and looking at different ways it was played, replaying it and seeing how, as you play it, I find it fascinating that every card that's played to a trick can make such a big difference, finding the right card. So this is subtitled, if you like, Every Card Matters. And I thought we'd look at this hand from the 16th of August, board 9, and I hope you can all see that. And this was the board. It was played mainly, as you can see, in 3-no trump. Most people played it in 3-no trump, but only 2 people got a positive score. Only 2 people made 9 or more tricks in that, even though if you look at this little grid here, it shows you that North-South could make 3-no trump, could make 9 tricks on it. So I want to have a look at what went wrong on this hand and to try and figure out the best chance to make a contract of 3-no trump. So let's have a look at this hand over here on a bigger screen. And this is generally how the hand was bid. Most people opened 1 club with the North hand. North has got a balanced hand with, I think, 17 points. Their partner responded 1 spade, and then they showed that hand by rebidding 2-no trump. That shows 17 or 18 points. And South bid 3-no trump. And what I want to do is start by looking at the hand from declarer's point of view. Declarer's North here. And let's start off by seeing if you can count how many top tricks declarer has. So I'm going to launch a poll in a moment. And the question is, how many top tricks does declarer have? So don't answer verbally. I'll give you a few more seconds to count up your top tricks, and then I'm going to launch the poll. Okay, so here comes the poll. How many top tricks does declarer have? Counting all your top tricks in all 4 suits. Okay, we'll end the poll there. 4 people haven't voted, but the rest of you have. And here are the results. So 3/4 of you, 75%, went for 7, and 1/4 went for 6. And I think that's a very interesting poll from my point of view, because some of you have got the wrong answer, of course. So let's go through it and let's count our tricks together. We've got 1 spade, the ace. We have 4 hearts, the ace, queen, king, and jack. And we have 2 other aces. We have the ace of diamonds and the ace of clubs. So you start off with 7 top tricks. And if you put in an answer of 6, then I suggest you have a careful look at this hand and try and persuade yourself that 6 is the wrong answer. Did anyone, I don't know if anyone who said 6 would like to tell me why they came to a total of 6. Do unmute yourself if you're willing to shame yourself. Now, do unmute if you can tell me why you thought there might only be 6 tricks. Okay, well, there are definitely 7. I hope you agree. I suppose the only difficulty is you've got to be sure of taking 4 heart tricks with the ace, queen, and then the king and the jack. So maybe that was why some people said 6, but there are definitely 7 tricks. So we have 7 tricks. We need to find a couple more tricks from somewhere. Would someone like to tell me where you think you might be able to get some extra tricks. So unmute yourselves and see if you can tell me where you think you might get some extra tricks. Suits.
Maybe club.
Diamond.
Club.
Diamonds, clubs. Okay,
Clubs,
anything
yeah.
else? Any other options?
Spade and hearts.
Spade and club.
We're not going to make any more in hearts.
Spade and
because
club.
we've counted 4 hearts, haven't we? And we
Yeah,
can't possibly make more than 4.
Spade and
So-
club.
spades.
Spades. Yeah,
Spades.
I mean,
Definitely
believe it or
spades.
not, there are actually possibilities of extra tricks in both spades, clubs, and diamonds. And I think the best options are in that order. I think spades has got the best chance of making extra tricks, followed by clubs and followed by diamonds. Now, when I'm analysing a hand like this, I suppose you sort of think about the different suits, and you. I'm just going to mute everyone because there's a bit of background noise there. You think about the different suits. You think about the possibilities of making extra tricks, and one thing you can do is, at your leisure afterwards, I suppose, put these hands into program Suit Play, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and see what that comes up with. And I'd like you to think about a couple of suits here. First of all, the spade suit. And we have one top trick there for sure. But what do you think your chances are of making a second trick? Or what do you think your chances are of making a third trick? I'm making a total of 3 tricks. I'm going to launch a poll in a moment, and I'd like you to tell me to pick one of these answers is correct, and it's what Suit Play has come up with as your probability of making 1 extra trick or of making 2 extra tricks. So here comes this poll, and there are 2 parts to it. What do you think your chances are of making 1 extra trick in spades? And what do you think your chances are of making 2 extra tricks in spades? In other words, making 3 in total. Do you all understand the question? So here comes the poll, and you're going to pick 1 from each section. Ching it again. Okay, so let's see what you've come up with. I'm going to just share your results. And for an extra trick, most of you have said 88% is most likely. 53% thought 88 was the right answer, with smaller numbers going for 75 and 65. And for 2 extra tricks, most of you have said there's just a 20% chance of that. 60% went for that, with smaller numbers going for 30 and 40. So let's have a look. I put this suit combination into Suit Play earlier, and let's have a look at it. And this actually is this exact suit combination with the Jack 9 opposite the Ace 6 5 4 3. And what Suit Play is saying is that if you can play this in the optimal way, you have a 87.6% chance of making at least 1 more trick, in other words, of making 2 tricks, and a 40% chance of making 3 tricks if you play it in the optimal way. Now, you may not always be able to play it in the best way possible, but and that is because you may not have the entries to play it as suggested. What Suit Play is saying here, for example, is that it's underlying the card it would like you to play, which is a low card. In other words, start by leading low towards the Jack and 9. And even though you may not be able to play it that way, the spade suit does offer you a good chance to make at least 1 more trick and possibly 2 more tricks. In other words, make a total of 3 tricks. Okay? So when we come to play the hand, this is probably the suit we're going to go after. This has got the best chance of allowing us to make the most number of tricks. What about in clubs? What about in clubs? I've got the third and final poll for you today, and you can see you've got one trick in clubs with the ace, but what do you think the chances are of making a second trick? I don't think you'll be able to make three tricks in clubs, but what do you think your chances are of making a second trick in clubs? Okay, you've got the ace, queen, 5, 4 opposite the 10 and the 2. And I'm going to launch the third poll today, third and final poll, which is what do you think your chances are of making a second club trick? So here comes the third poll today. What are the chances of making an extra trick in clubs? With this, okay, we'll end the poll there and let me share the results with you. And the majority have here gone for 50%. 64% of you answered said 50%. A quarter of you said 68%, and 12% said 74%. Okay, so the majority here went for 50%. And I have to tell you, the majority of you are wrong on this occasion. So I'm going to switch to suit play and put in that suit combination, and let's see what it says. And it will also tell me the best way to play it. So I've got the ace, queen, 5, 4 opposite the 10 and the 2. And if I run that through suit play, it is saying that the chance of two tricks is actually 74.4%. So those of you who said it's a 50% chance are not right there. It's much better than that. It's almost a 3/4 chance that you can make two tricks here. And interestingly, it's saying the best way to play this is to start by leading a low club towards your 10. Okay? In other words, so if I can enter this here, and I'm going to play a low card, and what it's saying is that if the opponent plays low, I should play the 10 here. And if you follow this line, it's saying that you can make two tricks in 74% of cases. Does anyone have a question about that? Are you surprised by that? I must say I was a bit surprised, because I thought, when I looked at this suit combination, I thought, oh, it's probably a 50% chance. But actually having that 10, if you play it correctly, greatly increases your chances. Okay.
Well, I was going to play it the other way around, from the 10 to the queen to the
right.
But
well,
I did go for 74. Yeah.
Yeah. Suit play says that's not the right way to play it.
Okay.
Suit play says the right way to play it is to lead low towards the 10.
Towards the 10. Okay.
Yeah, to start with, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those two.
Tony, can I come in here?
Yeah.
How about this way of playing? Lead the 2 to the queen, and if that doesn't work, then lead small to the 10.
Yeah. I think that is a reasonable way of playing it. The problem, I think the reason, unfortunately, suit play won't let you play it the wrong way. So I can't try out that combination because suit play wants me to play it the way it thinks is right. So I think your idea is okay. The problem with that is that you're always going to have to play the 10 on the second trick, right? Even if they play the jack, for example, you have to throw the 10. And certainly on this particular hand, it works out better if you do play it the way that suit play says.
Yes. I see that.
In fact, I'll just bring up the four hands briefly, and you see if you do play the clubs in this way by leading a low club, they will play the jack, okay, and then you will make two tricks, because the jack will win a trick, but now you've got the 10 and the queen left, so one of those will make a trick. Now,
Yeah.
this analysis on suit play is not exactly what you will find in real life, because suit
No.
play assumes that you can lead from whichever hand you want. You have no problems with entries, although you can put that into suit play. You can say, what if I can only lead once from dummy, or something like that. You can put those stipulations in. But otherwise, there are, you may find in real life that you can't actually play it the way that suit play would like you to, because you don't have the entries. And that's certainly the case on this hand here. Entries are a problem. And what we're going to do is replay this hand as it was played a few times and see what went wrong. So this is the actual record of play. I'm going to start with this one here. And the only thing that's different about this is I've removed people's names because I don't want to embarrass anyone. So this was how it was bid and played one time. It started off 1 club, 1 spade, 2 no trump, 3 no trump. And nearly all the defense on this hand, they led a heart. Okay. Now, what you can do is after you've played the hand, you can bring this up exactly as I've done it. Then you can click on this button here, and it will show you a record of how the hand was played and how it led to more or fewer tricks. So this one is basically saying that if East here is on lead, and East should lead any of the green cards, any of the green cards should lead to 4 tricks to the defense. In other words, allowing declarer to make 9 tricks. And the worst card you could lead is the 10 of diamonds, which would lead to only 3 tricks for the defense. But on any other lead, declarer can make 9 tricks from that point onwards. Okay, so what you do is you click here on these arrows, and it will show you how the play actually went. And I'm going to look at this played a couple of different ways. So this declarer played low from dummy and won the first trick with the queen. And now what the computer is saying is it's showing you what is the best card to play. And it's saying that if you lead a spade, you can make 9 tricks. That's what that little 9 means. But if you lead any other card, you could be defeated. And it's also highlighting with the blue asterisks what was actually played. And so you can see what this declarer did was they didn't lead a spade, they led a heart. And I think that's a very poor play. You're only ever going to make 4 hearts here, and there's no real point in playing hearts. In fact, in order to make tricks in spades, you need to keep your hearts, as they will provide a possible entry. If you do manage to set up the spades, that is how you're going to get to the south hand to cash some spades here. Anyway, this is what declarer did. They played a heart. They won that one. Okay. Now they played a spade, which is good. The computer here is saying you can only make 8 tricks now, and 7 tricks if you play the king of hearts. So they played a spade back. They played the jack, which lost to the king. The defense switched to a diamond here, the 3 of diamonds, and they played the king, and declarer ducked that. They carried on in diamonds, and again the computer saying it doesn't matter which diamond you play here, you can make 8 tricks. The queen is played here, and now East, according to the computer, is making a mistake here because they carried on in diamonds. And I hope you can see that because they carried on in diamonds, it gives declarer a chance to make the last 2 diamond tricks. However, what happened was that declarer obviously wasn't really concentrating on what diamonds had gone, and actually could have made 9 tricks if they played the ace. That's what the 9 there means. They actually played the 9 of diamonds, which means they can only make 7 tricks now. So, just the card you played makes a big difference here, of course. So they played low, they played a diamond, and they won that one with the ace. Now declare a, again, the computer is saying your best, you can't make this contract, but your best option is to cash the ace of hearts. What they actually did was played another spade. They took their ace, and then they played clubs. They're going to finesse in clubs, maybe. Okay, they played the queen, which won the trick here. But all Declarer could do now was cash their ace of hearts and their ace of clubs. Their king of hearts is good, but they can't get there. They're stuck because they played the hearts the wrong way. They can't get to the king. So the opponents took the last two tricks, and Declarer was held to 7 tricks, down 2 in other words. Anyone have any comments or questions on that? Does everyone know how to access this? Because I think it's an incredibly useful resource when you've played the hand to sort of say, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And if you don't do that, you're really missing out. Let's try played another one. This time we'll look at this one. And here they didn't bid game. It went 1 club, 1 spade, 2 no trump. Those bids are good, but really you should really be in 3 no trump here because you've got 9 points opposite your partner's 17 or 18. And let's see what happened here. I'll click on this link here. And again, the opponents led a heart. And let's see if Declarer can do better here. They took their ace. And here Declarer started off better. Here Declarer started off, sorry, I'm just muting everyone because there's a bit of background noise. Here Declarer started off with the spades, which as I said is probably the best chance to make extra tricks here. So they played the Jack of Spades, and that lost to the Queen. The opponents now played a club back. So West over here, maybe seeing the weakness in dummy, decided to play a club. I don't know if I really agree with that, because if you think back to the bidding, North did bid 1 club at one stage. Anyway, that's what they played. And again, you can see what actually happened here and what difference it makes. What the computer is saying is that Declarer here had a chance to go for 10 tricks if they played the Queen here. If they played the ace, they could make 9 tricks. And if they played a low club, they might only make 8 tricks. So that's what they actually did. They played a low club. The Jack won the trick. And East got in and carried on in hearts. They played the 2 of hearts. Declarer won that one. And carried on in spades. This is good. Okay, the 9 of spades. And it's good to do this while you still have an entry to the south hand. So the opponents have won a spade there. They played a heart back. Okay, see what happens. South is on track to make 10 tricks here. Sorry, Declarer is on track to make 10 tricks here. And you can see the way to make 10 tricks is now to play the ace. And it's your only good chance that the missing spades are going to fall, and it would allow you to make 10 tricks. So Declarer did do that. Okay, so they've made the ace of spades, but then obviously they weren't keeping track of spades, and instead of taking the last 2 spades, they played a club. So they finessed in clubs here. Again, Declarer's got a choice of the 8, making 8 tricks with the ace, playing the Queen to make 9 tricks, or playing low actually makes 10 tricks. Declarer should remember actually that the Jack of Clubs has already gone, so it's, possibly it's a good idea just to play the 10 of Clubs, but they didn't do that. They played the Queen, they played the ace, and they actually remembered their last club was good, so maybe they were tracking the clubs, but they played the clubs, made a trick with that, and then played a diamond. And this Declarer made 9 tricks. So there were 2 no trump plus 1. So that was not too bad. You know, the people say, oh, it's a lot to keep track of, to sort of keep track of all these suits, and I understand that. But what you have to do is, you know, focus on the suits that are important to you. So if you think that you're going to go for spades, you need to be watching the opponent's spades, thinking about how the spades divide, and thinking about how you can make the most of it. And finally, let's just have a look at one person who bid and made 3 no trump. This again was a reasonable bidding sequence: 1 club, 1 spade, 2 no trump, 3 no trump. They led the 10 of hearts here. That actually, strictly speaking, is probably the right lead if you're going to lead a heart, because it's top of a near sequence: 10, 9, 7. It doesn't matter on this occasion, but that's what they led. And Declarer won that with the queen, and they also went after the spade. So they went for the jack of spades. That lost to the queen. Again, the opponents played a club back here, and here Declarer guessed to play the right card here, which was the queen here. Okay, so that took a trick, and then they played another spade. So this time they let that one win. Okay, the opponents played a diamond here, and Declarer won that one. And now Declarer took the ace of hearts and is able to cross to dummy with a low heart. They took their king and their jack. And if they're counting the spades at this point, they will know that there's only 1 spade left, and it's the king. So Declarer was able to take the ace. When the king drops, this Declarer took their remaining good spades. Okay, and then they led a club. The king got played here, so Declarer won that one and made 10 tricks. They lost a club at the end. So that was played well, and I suppose the gist of it was that you kept your eye on the spade suit. Try to remember how many spades had gone, and realize that to make your contract, your best chance was perhaps to go after the spades. It has a good chance of making at least 1 more trick, and a reasonable chance of making 2 tricks. Of course, the danger when you're playing other suits and setting up tricks is that the opponents will get in and take a lot of tricks, in another suit before you have time to set up your own tricks. But on this occasion, virtually everyone led a heart, and that happens to be your strongest suit. That happens to be a suit where you've got 4 stoppers. So you have time to set up tricks in the other suits, and that is the goal, as is so often the case in no trump. It's really the best chance to make extra tricks by establishing your long suit and trying to identify which is the best suit to go after. Okay, so that was the topic today. Did anyone want to ask any questions about any of that?
Tony,
Tony,
it's Helen.
one question.
So let's Helen go first. Yeah, you go first, Helen. Yeah.
Yes, Tony. If East had led a different suit, would that made a lot of difference to the outcome?
Well,
because everybody seemed to lead a heart.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly natural lead, because
Yes.
it was an unbid suit, and nearly everyone led a heart.
Well, you could have led a diamond. No?
Yes.
No, possibly.
Yes. I mean, you actually have more hearts, because
Yes.
they've already led hearts.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yes, I can see it now. Yes, of course.
So I would lead a heart in that
Yes.
situation,
Okay.
although in this situation it's not such a threat.
Right.
But the computer does find that no matter what is led,
Right.
that you should always be able to make 9 tricks.
Right. Okay.
So-
yeah, I can see. Yes, I see that. Thank you,
But
Tony.
yes, the lead is very
Yes.
important. And
Right.
on the other hand, if they lead a diamond, you may be able to make a trick in diamonds. If that may help.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah. Another question there. Yeah.
Tony, isn't it a good idea to lead your fourth highest of your longest suit in 3 no trumps?
Okay, so what card would that be?
The 4
Of,
of hearts,
right.
and not the 10.
Right. So the reason for leading the 10 is that it's a near sequence headed by an honor. The 10 is an honor, and so with 10, 9, 8 or 10, 9, 7, the normal card to lead is the 10.
Right.
All right, because it's an
Okay,
honor.
thank you.
It's the weakest sequence or near sequence you can have because it's only headed by the 10. But because it's 10, 9, 7, that counts as a near sequence. It's having the first
Okay.
2 cards, missing the third, but having the fourth. As you can see on this hand, it doesn't matter, but I would probably lead a heart. You're right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other
Thank you,
comments or questions?
Thank you, Tony.
If there are no more questions, we'll end the call there, apart from asking if anyone who needs a partner can stay on the line, and we'll see what we can arrange. But for the rest of you, that's it. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you online. The game has been opened up, and you can join on BBO today. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you,
So
Tony.
thank you all very
Thank you.
much. Stay online
Thank
if you need a
you.
partner, and just let me know